Okay, so right now let's go on to KDP and let's upload our book that we have just created. Now, just click on the create button once you're logged into the KDP account. And once you click on the button, obviously there are four types of books. There is the Kindle ebook, paperback, hardcover, and series page. But we want to, or we desire to upload a paperback manuscript or book. So click on create paperback. Now, once you click that, language, choose your own language or the paperback's language. Well, as it happens, the paperback language for our book is English, so we'll keep it at that. For the book title, it's very simple. But first, you need to make sure that the color that you or the title that you have over here is what you put in there. So, dwarves coloring book for children. That will be our title. Dwarves coloring book for children. And then at the bottom, we're going to add something like a cute coloring book for kids that loves dwarves and fairy tales. Now, by the way, some people choose to disregard the subtitle section and they don't enter the information on the subtitle section. Well, I could tell you that that is not particularly smart, because if you disregard this section, then you are disregarding SEO. So this section contributes to SEO. The subtitle section actually is good for SEO. So make sure that you add a lot of keywords in there. So you can see, for example, that I added the keyword coloring book. So this is an SEO tip. I added kids, and I also added dwarves and fairy tales. Those are also keywords. As far as the book title is concerned, I made sure to add coloring book for children on top and dwarves to distinguish. And the reason why I went with a dwarves coloring book is because niches in KDP are already saturated. So there's already a lot of demand, I would say, offers out there in this niche. And the problem is that you cannot compete in a red ocean unless you're going to take over by some form of strategy that nobody has ever heard of. But we're not in the age of miracles, right? And so you need to look for a niche where you can compete without problems. And dwarves coloring book, I guess probably that's a niche that has very, very low competition compared to some of the other niches that exist. So for example, if somebody searches coloring book, my book would appear on page number 170 or God knows what page. But chances are, if somebody searches using the term dwarves coloring book, then maybe I'm going to appear. And the best thing about this is that dwarves appears in the book title as well as in the subtitle, and coloring book appears on the title as well as the subtitle. And we have a variation for children and kids. Children and kids means the same thing, but I chose to vary them because I don't want to have the same keywords all over the place. Because if somebody searches for dwarves coloring book for kids, there's a chance that they might jump or they might bump into my book. Now, the edition number, it's optional, but this book follows no edition number. Now, what this means is if you have an edition of similar books about coloring, dwarf coloring books. Okay, so the book subtitle were now secured. The edition number, we have none. And for the author, I'm just going to choose a pen name, independent author, for example. I'm going to name it like that. Well, you can name it whatever you want. You can name it, for example, magician author or magician king, whatever name you want to add as your primary. You can use your primary name, which is your real name, or a pen name, we call it. Now, this book has no contributors. We built it. And obviously, I just went ahead and built a description over here. If you want to find how to write a perfect description, go back to the section where I talk about customer analysis. And basically, the idea is to just go and do some analysis on not just the customers, but specifically on the competitors. Figure out or find the competitors that are really, really crushing it in your niche, and take after them. Take whatever they're doing and just copy it and do the same. You don't really need to reinvent the wheel. Just take whatever that is and just make it better. Here are some keywords that I've added. Dwarves. I'm gonna add S's over here, all over the place. S, S, S. And so I'm just gonna take this. I'm just gonna take this, and basically I'm gonna copy each keyword separately. Now it's optional to have keywords, but remember, keywords also contribute to SEO, and so you need to put yourself in the customer's place and come up with some keywords. Come up with some keywords that you think these customers might use to search for you. That's a very handy thing to do. Now let's choose this coloring book for a kid. Right, there is 2 left. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's just 2 left, and I've written 8. We only have 2 left. So because we get to write 7, so I'm just gonna choose this one, and I'm gonna click paste. And if I scroll down, the categories is also very important. And if you want to figure what categories to put your book in, yeah, go to the section where we talk about categories. I'm just gonna go to juvenile nonfiction activity books because this is an activity book. Does your book classify as any of these types? Choose all that apply. No, it's not a low content book. This is not a notebook or a journal or a planner. This is a book, a paperback activity book. So I'm not gonna select any of those. Does it contain adult content? No. Well, click save and continue. Make sure that if your book contains adult content to select that. Now choose categories. Chosen it. Save. Publishing rights. That's where I forgot. I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. Yes, I do. Now let's click save and continue. We'll go to the next step now. And the next step is to put it simply, very easy. So here, if you have an ISBN, you can just click use my own ISBN and add your own ISBN and imprint. But in our case, we don't have an ISBN, so we're just going to click assign me a free ISBN and click assign ISBN. All right, and we're going to be assigned this ISBN. So you can see now that it was assigned to us, and the imprint is independently published. Now the publication date, that's in the case of books that were already published. Now our book is going to be published for the first time, so it was never published, so we're not going to choose any publication date because there is none. The publication date is still not yet there. Obviously our book has some colors, and so we need to make sure that it's standard color interior, just so when they print it, we make sure that the pages with colors come as pages with colors. If you choose black and white, everything is going to be printed in black, even pages with colors, and that beats the purpose because our book is with colors, and so we need to make colors apparent. Now the trim size, it's 6x9 here, but for our trim size for this design, the paperback cover design, we have we have an 8.5 by 11 inches. So I'm going to choose select a different one. 8.5 by 11 inches. So that's the size. We have no bleed. So I'm just going to keep it no bleed. I've explained to you the difference between a matte book and a glossy book in a previous video, so I'm not going to explain it any further. Manuscript. All right, so let's upload the manuscript from our list of downloads. We already have it. So this is the manuscript. Let's wait for a little bit for it to be uploaded. Now, you have 2 options, whether to upload the cover for your book yourself, or you can just launch Cover Creator, which is Amazon KDP's Cover Creator, and you can use it to create your own cover. We're not going to do that because the Amazon KDP Cover Creator is not really perfect. It doesn't allow you much flexibility like Canva or Photoshop, and so that's why I am not going to use it. So I'm going to click Upload a Cover and upload your cover file. Now I'm going to upload this as my cover, which is exactly this one that we've designed together. And I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait over here. Wait a bit. Check this box if the cover includes a barcode. If you don't check the box, we'll add a barcode for you. So I'm not going to check the box because if I don't check it, they're going to add a barcode for you. And that's exactly what I want. Here, let's launch the previewer. Let's click continue. It can take some time because this is a previewer, so it takes time for the previewer to tell you what things are wrong with your book. If there's nothing wrong with the book, then potentially it's going to tell you 100% correct. Here, there is something wrong. There was an error processing the interior. So to solve this issue, I'm just going to have to upload things again. I'm just going to have to upload things again because sometimes it doesn't work from the first take. So do not be scared or stressed about it. If it happens, just upload it again. So I'm just going to do it, try it again, try this one again as well. And I'm just going to wait for a short period of time before I click Launch Previewer again. Please note that the paperback nowadays is at 72 minimum. So we've added 40 pages. If it issues and there is an error that happens, just make sure that you go ahead and add another extra 32 pages to your book, and that will solve the issue because the book that we have right now is 40 pages, so we were forced to go back and to declare it as a low content book. But still, there is a problem processing our files for some reason. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to try and go ahead and fix it. I always fix it by just uploading files again, and but in this case it didn't work. So I think we will be obliged to untick this box, and I'm just gonna go back to Canva for some reason, and I need to go back and redesign my other 32 pages. So let's go back to recent designs. This one, the Gnome's interior. So I'm just gonna go back to it, and I'm gonna add the extra 32 pages. Now, the reason why it is quite perfect for you guys to be able to see this in action is because when you see a technical problem like this one, you can learn from it and you basically wouldn't have to go through it again. So you might be thinking, well, why aren't you showing us the perfect work? Well, if I show you the perfect work, then when you fall into a problem, you'll not know how to solve it. But now, as we've seen together, you will be able to solve the problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm simply going to start duplicating pages left and right to add up and to make the book at about 72 pages. So yeah, I'm just going to duplicate left and right like I said. Duplicate left and right. Duplicate this one. Duplicate. So what's the count right now? It's at 47. So duplicate, add page. Then here, duplicate, move to the bottom. Duplicate, move to the bottom, create page. Then go to the top, duplicate, move to the bottom, and duplicate, and duplicate. How many pages now? Well, there's still about 10 to go, so we're not far away from that. And so once we have our 72 pages, I'm going to click load this. I'm going to download it, not as a PNG, but as a PDF for print. I'm going to click download. I'm going to go back to KDP. I'm going to wait for the book to be downloaded. It was successfully downloaded. I'm going to go back to paperback content. I'm going to save and continue. And yeah, I'm going to go back there. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to upload it again. Upload. So here it is. It's been uploaded. Now, cover uploaded successfully. Please provide an ISBN so we might start processing your file. Well, the ISBN was assigned to us for free from KDP. So now the manuscript is being processed. Hopefully there's not going to be an error. Wait for this to go. Wait for the files to be processed. Then you can move to something else. Well, as the files are processing, just keep waiting until they are processed. Until you can see here that the files are processed. Or in my case, I'm just going to go ahead and click Launch the Previewer to force the system. Yep, everything was published now since we solved the paperback problem. Now, we have a problem. Your expected cover size is 17.419 by 11,250, but the submitted file size is this. So now, what we're going to have to do, unfortunately, we're going to have to go back to Canva, and in order to solve this issue, you need to make this file in the size that they're giving you over here. So instead of this, we're going to have to make it 17. So when you create a design, the size should be this. It should be 17.344. Right, so that's the size that should be. So we're going to click Create Design, click Custom. Then I'm going to go here. I'm going to just take this and I'm going to add it over here. And obviously 11.250 instead of pixels. Well, I'm going to change this to inches first and then paste this 11.250. Click Create New Design. And then what I'm going to do, I am simply going to try and copy and paste this. So I'm just going to I'm just going to select this, try and copy paste it. If it works, yeah, it worked. I just have to change this background now to a more bluish one. I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to change this from this blue color to this blue color. Yep. And I'm just going to have to change some stuff. The tree, I'm going to make it a little bigger. I'm going to make this gnome a little bigger and push it here. Take his daughter and put her here, push it here, push this thing right here. And yep, so we're good to go. We have changed the size now. So let's go ahead and download this as a PDF, a PDF for print. Download. Let me go to Amazon. Let me go back and let's change this and see if it works. So upload the cover, downloads, Untitled Design. This is the last one that we have loaded. Click on Open. And then once it's opened, I'm going to launch the previewer. And basically, let's hope that it works. Generally, I think it's going to work. But let's just see it for ourselves. And so as expected, we went and solved the problem. And now it's good. So let's just click Approve. And then basically, the process has just ended now. The only thing left for us to do will be to click Save and Continue. And we'll price our book. So let's click Save and Continue, and let's go ahead and price the book. Now, this is not a book that I am intending to sell, so I'm just going to delete it right after I publish it. Here, you can choose to sell in all territories, which is worldwide, or individual territories. You just click on it and define which countries you want to sell in. So let's, for example, say that I want to only sell in the United States. The primary marketplace, keep it Amazon because it's better that way. And pricing and royalty. Here you can choose 40% with expanded distribution or 60%. I much prefer to choose the 40% with expanded distribution because I want to make sure that my book appears in all of the Amazon-owned companies out there, because Amazon owns a lot of online companies, and so I want them to distribute my book through all those platforms. Here, let's price the book at $7 or $8, for example, because $8.99, because the book is going to be printed and in color. And so I'm really not going to make that much. You know, just the cost of printing is $3.44. And so the only royalty that I get is 0.15. So, for example, let's say I price it at 10. I only make about $1, not $1, half a dollar in royalties. So, well, let's just, for the case of this example, let's price it at $8.99. And let me scroll down and click Publish Your Paperback Book. Now, once the paperback book is published, it's going to require 72 hours before the book will be available for purchase on Amazon, which is pretty normal. Sometimes it might even take more. And as you can see here, your paperback has been submitted, and there is a call to action here that says start your ebook now, which tells us that you can publish your ebook version. And just like I said, when you create your paperback book and when you publish your paperback book, it is very good to first of all design the paperback book first, because it allows you to simply just trim the design